Hi, this is David C. Jones for Speeding and Rolling, and we're talking movies. We're talking queer movies. We're talking the Vancouver Queer Film Festival, which this year is sort of coming back. It's poking its little head out because for the last couple of years it's been online because of, well, you know why. But now they're doing a combo thing of films in theaters and stuff online, in case you're not ready yet. And their opening film is by this wonderfully talented man, Dave Short. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Nice. Is this the first festival that are you debuting at this festival?
No, the film premiered in Toronto at Inside Out.
Oh, nice. Now this is the Empress of Vancouver, and it's all about Oliv, Empress number 10. Now, did you go, I have an idea, I want to make a film about Oliv, or did she call you up and say, hey, you should do a film about me?
Yeah, no, the way that it transpired is that I was doing research for another film for the Knowledge Network, and someone said that I should speak to Oliv because she knows so much about Vancouver queer history. So I met her at a cafe, and she had so many stories. She was so captivating, and I realized that she wasn't going to work for the film that I was working on for Knowledge Network, but I went back to my business partner, Jessica Hallenbach, and I said, I just met someone who I think could be the subject of a feature film because she's such a great character, which is, there's a few things you look for when you want to make a film, and one of them is a good character. Another is a good story. So that was in 2018, so it took a while to secure funding, but it was really like meeting Oliv and she's just such a compelling character that I wanted to make.
She's so cool. Like she almost has like and I mean, she's unique. She's her own thing, but she has almost that Debbie Harry vibe of like, I'm here, admire me, but I don't care if you do or not, right?
Yeah, no, it's true. And I mean, her sense of style, like her fashion, it's so ahead of its time. There's a lot of kind of like Bowie vibes to it. Some people refer to her as the punk empress because she was so different than the other empresses at the time. So she is just a fascinating, compelling character.
Well, and for Vancouverites, particularly, I guess those under 30 and under, or maybe even 40 and under, you'll know Oliv because if you've been in the West End, you've seen her walk by, and she's so striking and so tall that you can't help but, and especially she's often with Davy and Chanel. So the trio, they're like a mod squad, post-apocalyptic mod squad walking down the street. But
yeah, you can't miss them. You can't miss them.
Totally. And this film is riveting. What you've done with this film is so spectacular because her life, like, I had no idea how she was on the forefront of so much stuff. You use so much historical footage in this too. How did you get access to all that?
Yeah, so that was the other thing when we were deciding whether this is worthy of a feature film, is how much archival material is there out there. So the first thing we discovered was these old episodes of Gablevision.
Yeah.
Which is the first community queer television program in Canada, possibly in North America. And the tapes were saved, so we had access to them. And I watched every episode, and there's a lot of episodes. And yeah, so and discovered in there that there was footage of Oliv in the Pride Parade, and there was campaign footage. So I was like, wow, okay, I think already we have enough. But then, of course we need more. So there was a lot of research. We ended up using footage from NFB, CBC.
You've got city council meetings.
Yes.
Right? That was like one of the things that's quite lovely is you have when they were trying to start, well, it wasn't called Gay Pride then, it was called Gay Unity. And what was, I don't mean this to be a spoiler or anything, but Oliv gets crowned Empress and the parade happens. Right.
Yeah, and she's actually at the front of the parade, and it's not something that is really clear in the film, but she was at the front.
Yeah.
So
this
it's pretty special.
This is before Dykes on Bikes had got the front of the parade.
Exactly.
whenever they go, the Dykes on Bikes were always there. Well, no, not in year one.
Yeah.
Well, it's so remarkable, and I also love your use of, you have one part that's animated showing how to make the dress, how she made the dress, and how to and also use of graphics and stuff like that. And she's also just a stunning person. Did you just take her around the city going, stand near this?
Pretty much. I mean, part of what's informing the film is COVID, because we couldn't really film indoors, and there was a long period of time where things were closed down. So what I ended up doing, well, me and the team ended up doing, is following her on Friday nights when she would dress up and go out. So there's a lot of footage of her out on the street and walking around. People are probably like, why are people walking around so much? But it's COVID, so you're not sitting around inside a bar, or, you know, and even the performances are a bit different because we would have liked to have had more people in an audience, but they ended up being just for the film, because of COVID, we could only film those performances alone with the small crew, following all the COVID protocols.
Nice.
It was
I make a small little cameo in your film.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Is it in the Plaza performance, or?
Yeah, what happened was in the park performance, and I must apologize for the people watching this. We are on a wacky Wi-Fi signal, so Dave and I both keep freezing every now and then, but stick with it. But I went and watched her performance done in Jim Diva Plaza.
Oh, okay. So and you're in the background.
I'm in my orange shirt, and I'm blurry in the background. I go, that's me, because I was there. Did you make that performance happen just so you could get, like, you're like, we've shot a lot of footage and we don't have a concert?
No, so like in the opening, Oliv's like, I'm going to do a series of performances for my 40th anniversary of being crowned Empress. So all the performances in the film, we used music that she chose, and she kind of came up with the concept for the performance. The last performance with the iceberg and the rear projection and all that craziness, that was like my kind of set design mixed with her outfit and this song that she chose. So it was a collaboration, I guess, and her sensibility and my sensibility, and it was really fun.
It's stunning.
Is it on? How would you define 81? The beginning of possibilities. Part of the evolution of queer rights in this city, in this country, on this continent, in the world, because some people stood up and said, fuck you. As a female of this type, I don't give a fuck if you like me or approve of me or think I'm real, or when people used to say, well, you're very real, and I would go, well, I'm a bit surreal. I prefer that. soldiers against this small group of weirdos. And it backfired.
She's not a drag queen. She's just a freak. She's the.
So this is such an epic film. You've got historical footage, you've got graphics, you've got animation. You're so many setups. How did you do all that?
Well, we were working with a fairly limited budget for a feature film. And not only that, we had to license music and we had to license Archival. So it's also a complicated feature documentary. But the way we did it was a lot of people dedicating their time for very little money because they care about the community and about telling our stories and our history and the importance of queer history. And I just feel so lucky that I was working with such an incredible team of people. For example, our editor, she was brought on as an assistant editor, but she did so much work and she was so good that she ended up being the co-editor on the film, which is just, I think, so great. And then of course, Jessica Hallenbach, my partner, like she's the one who got the funding and made it happen. So I'm just like so thankful for everyone involved, including the cast, and all the time that they put in for very little money.
Nice.
Or no money. Or no money.
No,
Yeah.
Wait a minute, your story's changing. Well, fantastic. Why do you think people should see this film? We want to keep this tight. So why do you think people should see this film? And then I'll tell you why I think people should see this film.
Okay. I mean, I don't think that there's a lot of documentaries like this. It's kind of out there, mixing genres like drag performances with historical doc, with, biopic, like a biopic. So it's a real, it's really unique. And then of course, Oliv is just such a compelling character, like as we've discussed. So I think it's entertaining and it's fun. And so many documentaries they're real downers, and there's nothing wrong with that. But we wanted to do something that was fun. And even though Oliv's been through a lot and she's had to survive a lot, she made it really clear early on, let's make something that's entertaining and fun for the audience. And I think that's what it does. So that's, yeah.
It totally does. And it is heartbreaking. You with that Cablevision footage, you also get outtakes. And you have that sequence where the person who is speaking about his experiences with AIDS, and you use his outtakes going, stop, I'm not getting it. And you're like, I'm getting emotional remembering it.
The reason that I wanted to include the outtakes is because you get a sense of who that person was in a very short period of time. Whereas if it was just the kind of rehearsed reading off the script, you wouldn't really see who he was. And he was the first person to ever go public with his HIV status in Canada. Wow. Or in Vancouver. So, it was really brave of him. Anyways, I thought that's important to mention.
Nice. And you must be thrilled when Out on Screen said, you're going to be our opening film.
Oh, I'm so thrilled. I used to volunteer and do work with the Queer Film Festival for years. I designed like their logo and the posters and that kind of stuff. So it feels like I've gone full circle, and it's such an honor for it to be the opening gala. Like, I'm just so pleased because, we also shared it with people at VIF, and they were interested as well. But I thought it was, it's just so important that it be like for the community, and they're doing something great with it. They're putting on like a huge party, and there's going to be performances, and so I feel like it's in the right hands.
Nice. Well, congratulations. It's a beautiful, beautiful film. It's so funny, so eccentric, like literally eccentric, and several emotional gut punches as it goes along, but ultimately you feel alive because Oliv lived her life, lives her life. She's not past tense, the way she wants to. So it's inspiring. Congratulations. I think everyone should go. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Dave.
so much. Thank you.